Hi all, welcome to today's video. We'll be covering about Intel and an analysis about Intel, generally the financial, economic, risk analysis. So I'll cover the technical analysis in a separate video. Alright, let's get started. So basically, well, we do it like every other video. I follow the same way. We cover the easiest and then we slowly go for the subjective area and finish. During an exam, you do the easiest stuff first, whichever that you need to pick the numbers and validate it. Then you go for stuff that you need to think and rationally spend time with it. Okay? So Google, let's do it. So Intel, I'm going to actually type in morning star and then I'm going to put Intel. So we're going to go financial. You would have, I think if you would have been following through my analysis videos, you know the trend already. We will be covering the financial part of it. Okay, cool. So key ratio, follow through my cursor, and then we go to full key ratios data here. I click on that. So it opens on a separate tab. Great. Okay. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the valuation tab as well. Guys, Intel 5414 at this point of time, it is going sideways. If perhaps we will cover that during our technical or chart analysis, right? So I click on valuation. Before valuation, what should we do? Before valuation, we should cover a little bit on the company profile. Of course, we can go to the we will be covering that in depth later, but before that, I just wanted to see. Alright, Intel is world's largest chip maker. Wow. So this statement here shows that they have intangible assets. How? World largest. Okay. It designs and manufactures microprocessor for global personal computer and data center markets. Well, check on your laptops and then I can show you. Let's see. Intel logo. So a quick, just to show you, if at anywhere you see this kind of sign or this kind of stickers on your laptop or on your phone, then you know that it has Intel's microprocessor, right? So Intel pioneered the x86, 32 bits architecture. They started way earlier. So it was a prime proponent of Moore's law. They advanced the semiconductor manufacturing, and from there on, the other semiconductors started also building it. All right, so let's look at it. What other details can we see? Okay, Intel is intensely going into the technology, being in the technological sector, be it IoT, artificial intelligence, automotive, and so on. Yeah, they are extensively into it. And recent merger, not to say two recent, but we could say in the earlier, maybe about 5 years back, like that, we will know in detail. Altera is an automotive company. Mobileye is more of an AI related instrument. Habana Labs, these are some of the acquisition, but they already have a lot. So we'll cover that. And wow, look at this, 110,000 employees. I can say 111,000 employees. And their headquarters is based in US, United States, right? So I'll click on valuation. Meanwhile, I'll go to the key ratios. Let's look at the key ratios. Their revenue. Let's look at their revenue. Their revenue consistently growing. You see a drop here? No. it is consistently growing. Trailing 12 months, because we are down half a year, so they would have taken another half a year from last year. So there would be a slight down because of their delay in the quad core, 8 core, their nano technology, I guess, or some delay in that area. And then get a gross margin, it's more than 50%, it's profit. Great. All right, and let's look at EPS. It was consistently around the range, and it's growing. Okay, it's growing. They are providing dividend consistently. Yep, and their dividend is not too high, but acceptable. It's 1.35, right, for every share. Yeah. Right, and then the book value, yeah, they do have a lot of plants, manufacturing factories, and so on. So they do have a lot of assets. So that defines. You can see that they acquire a lot of companies, which has also plants, assets, warehouse, and so on. So it is consistently growing. It's growing. So they have a good book value. Free cash flow, yep, consistently up. You can see here, up, 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 up. Trailing 12 months, slightly down. Okay, let's go down a bit. Look at their profitability. Let's look at their return on equity. Yes, it has been above 20, so I would say fine, good. It is good return. Okay, so although 25 and above, it would be excellent. This would be excellent. However, it's okay. Trailing 12 months is 22, it's still not too far difference. Okay, good. Let's look at their growth. Yeah, they're growing. They have a growth value. All right, and then let's look at their financial health. What's their debt doing? Their debt is still low. It's below 0.5. It's a good point that they have lower debt. And yeah, what other information can we check here? All right, so that's all for the key ratio that we're going to look at. So I'm not going to conduct accounting class here. I'm not an accountant, so we are looking at data to aid us selecting good companies. Okay, so right, let's look at valuation. And here we are looking at price over earnings. So when I'm looking at price over earnings, the lowest I can see is around you can say price over earning. Let's look at it. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 and 10. So it's around 9, 10, the lowest. Highest we can say around 17 is the highest, although 26 is that's an index. So 14, 14, 16, 17. So we have 1703. Do we have any other 1728? So maybe we can take around 17 is the highest pricing price over earnings that they can reach to. Yep. All right. So great. So that's all for the finance part. So we already evaluated the financial aspect of Intel, right? So how long did it took us? Let's see how long it took us. It's about 10 minutes. You covered the financial aspect. So now we want to look at the economic and the risk factor of this company. Okay, Intel annual report. As I said, you can do a search by saying Intel investors relation or annual report, but make sure you type it in your search, because not all domain has the same set of website URL. So, okay, you see, for Intel, it's part of their main domain. Okay, so I'm going to go into investors relation. Of course, you can go to SEC. They should have an SEC down here. Yeah, there's an SEC. You can straight away go to SEC report. But I want to go to investors relation. Why? Because sometimes you get more information here which is not reported. I mean, everything is reported, but that's in a report format. Here you get more of statistical view, more of what's happening in the news, any events, any presentations that they have made for management, any key announcement. For example, maybe their CFOs or CEO has changed, um, uh, potential uh, acquisitions or decision on buying, some key decisions and all those kind of news you can get it from the investors relation. So yeah, so they actually smart move. They bought this domain name based on their ticker symbol. INTC is Intel's ticker symbol. So yeah, smart move. Great. Okay, so let's see in the overview what do they have. So this about but high level you can understand that. So we open in a separate, we see what they have. We open separately about Intel, so we can look at this is overview already. So these are some of their products. So do you remember reading Mobileye? Yeah, this is the one. And Xeon, Myriad, Gilex, Optane. Great. Some inside information. If you are working in Intel, you get more information. You are working with companies that's using Intel as a main vendor, get a lot of information. So Intel do create technology for other solution companies. Example, the SAP's latest ERP solution, as for HANA technology, is made of HANA chip in memory computing, which is built on Intel Nano chip. All right, so this because we get you get to know about the company. So yeah. So they have both, which is cloud as well PC. So their major revenue comes from the cloud related service and data center related services. Okay, PC is their uh, second most highest revenue generation, right? Segments. Let's see what's their segments. So this shows what they do, what's in IoT that they are doing. These are some key highlights, so you can read on it. What this is doing. This is working close with Altera. Yeah, I remember working on automated emergency responder in the car, meaning to say it reads your uh, pupil and means your eye, your retina, and it's the blinks, how many blinks you do, and as well as it reads the size of your pupil growing and reducing. So this information will in turn reflect based on our algorithm to inform the emergency context that is recorded in the application. It could be your family members and so on about emergency state. So we actually built this for Motorola. I mean, built the idea and presented to Motorola. So yeah, it was automated. So it was a fun. So when I saw this, that um, automation solutions, so it reminds me to that. So anyway, let's move further. So yep, news and event. Let's go into news and events. Let's look at what did they have. You can also get email alerts. You see, like here. So every time they release any management presentation, um, annual reports, and so on, get an alert to your email. So if you really I want to see what's the presentation they have. If you really want to know further about what's happening every single news, as an investor, then you can always subscribe to the alert. And this is more on their financial information. So this is where planning to go. So I'm okay. They have separated financial information filing. So we will go to the annual report filing. So I click straight away for annual report, and then let's go into Form 10K. So yep, the annual report is ready. We can actually open this form separately from 10K. Great. Where was it? Yep, this is Security Exchange Commission, SEC. So you go straight to Security Exchange Commission, you'll get this, right? So they have quite a lot of presentation. We can actually read further. Intel Lab Day, New Street Research, about their Architecture Day. You see, this is why I said, I really enjoy going to the investor solution, because you can get to know more. Here you can get to know about their governing and the boards, So when you read this, you already know that they have a succession plan. So that shows that even if their management changes, it doesn't impact the company in terms of their revenue or so on. So where am I leading? Lower people risk. Okay, good. So we read this, definitely you can get to know about their strategies and all that. So right, let's quickly move into their this, and let's look at them now. So this speaks about Xeon. So it delivers workload optimization, guys. If they can do optimization or lowers TCO value for another company, don't you think that they do it for themselves? So yeah, this speaks a little bit on cost advantage, that they do have a cost advantage. And what other things? Yeah, into the future technology. So this speaks about Xeon itself. Um, about the speed and how the processor works. So if you want to know more about a company, passionate about it, you can always, this is a very admirable company. I love the workaround behind this company. I love the workaround. This company really generate futuristic platform or futuristic infra. Okay, great. But then they are inbuilt into another, like for example, SAP acquired them, Samsung acquired them, so on. We companies use their technology. That shows that this company won't bankrupt. You investing in this company, you will not lose your money. The company may not go bankrupt. So as I said, you see VMware, Dell, most of the companies are using Intel. It's a microprocessor. They hold the chip, they hold the heart of the technology. Okay, good. So I don't feel that I have anything that I wanted to check on. This shows their performance. So they have a huge scalable opportunities. So yes, this company has a growth opportunity. Okay, and let's look at any other details that is coming up. So this is about the technology as well. So I believe the chip and so on. Okay, I'm closing. Fuel 5G growth. This is the expansion, as I said, growth. Where they can grow, how they can grow, and all sort of things. So this is what it speaks. The pathway. This is excellent information. And about their architecture. All right. This is also speaking about the architecture. And yep, let's go into the annual report. See, quickly, we have identified a few points, but to ascertain them, we are going into the annual report. So I am going to directly, rather than going into one by one, which we can do, I want to go straight into the context itself. Okay. So guys, this is in the yep, this is so I'm going to go straight away find and type here intangible asset. So guys, you can straight away go and search. Okay, the acquisition is also an intangible asset. Why I say so? Because when you buy a company, you buy the company's IP, you buy the company's. So talking about Altera, they have their automobile IPs, research, and copyright. So note 12 speaks in detail. So let's go on to note 12. Tangible assets, including valuation methodology and so on. Okay. They have goodwill. Okay. Let's look at it. Identified intangible asset. As I said, they have R&D, which they have a lot of patents, IPs, and so on. So all their chip is their intangible asset. Okay. What other things that we can move it? Look at the value of intangible asset and goodwill from the acquisition. Okay, acquisition. So Habana is another company they have acquired. They have a lot of companies they're going to acquire out there in years to come. So yes, if you want to know, I also can search by brand. Look at Intel Evo platform brand. Intel itself is a brand, so yeah, that's their IP and their brand. So of course they do. And you can also search as copyright. They have patents, copyrights, intangible. So the facts are there. You can generate report based on this, saying that yes, this company definitely has copyrights, patents, and so on. Okay. So as for cost advantage, let's look at cost advantage aspect. So one thing that I see for cost advantage, uh, right, we can see cost advantage. They do have cost advantage. How do I say so? So, Intel's memory offering is getting smaller in terms of their size. They are reducing the size of the chip. So indirectly, the cost of manufacturing reduces. And they are known for it. Okay, look at this. Productizing cutting edge technology. This seriously, they have, they have, they are making it even. So let's look at cost, other aspects. So yes, this company already requires that we design capacity and continue to manufacture new products with significant cost advantage. It's so direct. It's so direct. As I said, their product is shrinking. Their product is shrinking, but that does not mean the value is shrinking. The value is tripling or doubling. It is becoming enormously valuable, but the size is shrinking. So they are reducing their operation cost. This is all because Intel has an extensive research company out there, right? So yeah, do you want to even further look at? We are focused on reducing our design complexity, reducing operation costs. Again, I'm okay, let's look at what other reducing. They want to reduce emissions. So indirectly, their disposal or sustenance cost is reduced. Okay, then let's look at optimization. What other they optimize their design software. You see, their ability to optimize and apply manufacturing expertise to deliver more advanced to differentiate their product. It's agreeable. It's agreeable, right? Include workload optimization platform. So there are many aspects. Okay, so let's see minimize. Okay, no, okay, reduction. Okay, let's look at high margin. Or let's search for the word margin. Higher gross margin. They are earning higher gross margin. Okay, right. So yes to cost advantage. Switching costs. All right. This is where I would like to bring you back to this part of it. Let's look at their revenue. Where was it that we saw about their revenue? is overview, maybe it's an overview, maybe. All right, guys, for switching costs, I'm coming back here. I'm coming back here. Why am I coming back here for switching costs? Switching costs is not from the uh, the business provider's perspective, meaning to say it's not from the eyes of Intel, but it's from the eyes of the customer. How hard is it for you to switch from Intel to another manufacturing, maybe IBM, AMD microprocessor? Okay, how hard is it? Do you actually concern when you are buying a laptop? Do you actually check, what is my processor? How many of us does that? We go for good. We say that, this is my budget. Can I have the latest laptop within this budget? I want to use it for this purpose, and I need a good processing speed. And the vendor will suggest you just go ahead and buy according to suggestion. I think that this distinguish would be between whether you want to buy Apple or Windows. Yes, but Intel is producing for Windows. Same goes to IBM and AMD. AMD or Intel chip. Both are for Windows. Okay, but look at their major revenue generation. It's very much on their data centric. So this is also covering not on personal computer centric, but it's more industry requirement. Okay, for this you have to do a little research out there, right? So how can you do, perhaps the competition is always between Intel and AMD, whether you want to buy an Intel chip or an AMD chip. Do you know what's the difference between both? Both does supports Windows. A simple question like that you do not we do not see. But switching from one enterprise resource solution to another enterprise resource solution takes a lot of investment. Okay, and I have some news as well. Let's look at switching cost. I'm going to touch this right. Okay. We don't have a specific site that we want to look at. I'm just going to open randomly. Let's look at it and see. This is recent news. Okay. So Apple has moved from Intel to ARM. This is probably due to the delay in the launch of nanotechnology. I'm not too sure about it. Should cost less to source compared to Intel chips. So yeah, I think this news supports ARM. So I wondered, we can, maybe in one of the video, we will venture into the business. We can see a network effect here in Apple. Switching from one to another company, it's not going to be easy. It's not that easy when you look at it in the perspective of data centers. So, for example, let me take an example of Intel is building a lot of chip or microprocessors for smaller company. I mean, it's not to say smaller company, giants out there as well, like SAP and so on. They build dedicated to chips for them. If the company wants to move to a new vendor, do you think it's easy or hard? Definitely will be troublesome. A lot of investment needs to be, and a lot of support and so on has to change. So it is not very easy, not like PC centric. So I am going to say that there's some sort of difficulty in moving. And let's go back again here. That was it. All right. This speaks about all about the acquisitions. Okay. Move it. It's one of the acquisitions, right? They acquired a lot of different. They bought a lot of companies. You can check in detail about the companies that they have bought. Okay. Right. So let's see partners. Partners, of course, network effect is huge. Okay. One thing is their major acquisition with and then like Altera, Mobileye, McAfee, Infineon Technology, Giga, Wind River acquisition of Havana Labs. And so these kind of acquisition, they too have network effects. Speak about McAfee, they have network effects. They have their stretch of companies. Talk about Mobileye, they have their own. So they have a huge, okay. And then they have joint ventures. Let's look at joint ventures. Okay, let's look at joint ventures, guys. I have done my preliminary investigation, so that makes it a little easier. Okay, joint marketing, joint development. Yeah, this is the one. So they actually joined with Micron to come up with NAND, or 3D XPoint technology. Okay. McAfee IPO. I'm curious. Okay. Let's, maybe another video we will cover about that. Alright? We will cover. Look at their price. 15 is almost 100%. So I don't know whether it's a profitable or not until we investigate further. You can check on my Facebook page for a report of whether it's undervalued, overvalued, or it's a fair valued and so on. Right? What are the other company? Okay, these acquisitions. Acquisitions. So you can check on that. Right. For efficient scale, I don't think so. Intel is in the niche market. There's no evidence that we can find that supports that. If we say niche, it doesn't even speak. Okay. No, so I'm going to say as literally don't have. So regulatory, they have a regulatory framework that shows and they have uh, um, a body that looks into regulation. Okay, so high regulatory risk, but it is managed. Okay, so if you saw research just now, you know that they have R&D extensively and they're working. Come on, it's Intel, right? So low R&D or high R&D, which you will see. To me, I will say high risk for R&D. Why? A simple thing is the delay in their new technology release. AMD has released it earlier, meaning to say Intel has uh, delayed the launch date for about 6 months or 3 months, something around there, and that has made their price drop, the market drop. AMD has made a lot of their potential clients move to AMD. So R&D is crucial, critical, can impact the company's revenue. Yes, this is my stand. Guys, you can decide. I feel like Intel, if you don't catch the market in advance, you lose your customer, you lose your revenue. Okay, so it's a high risk when we speak about Intel. So it is a high risk for science and tech people. They are managing it. You would have seen 100 or 1,000 employee. They have succession plans and so on in place. So inflation, no, because they're selling it based on the currency of the country. So it goes on US dollar. So guys, that would define my end in terms of intangible assets. I guess we already completed our risk. I would say low risk and very strong company in terms of economic. The financial wise, it's a good record. Everything seems to be good. So it's a good company, right? Whether it's undervalued, overvalued, fair value, check out my Facebook page. Thank you guys and see you in my next video.